Jared, great to have you with us another week here on 97.1 The Ticket. And I know you guys are pros and have said a lot of the win over Kansas City it's just one of 17 and move on to the next one. But in some ways, did the Kansas City game, even for you guys, kind of validate what you suspected that this team was for real?
Yeah, I thought Dan said it perfectly of he didn't learn anything. He was just, validated of what we already knew of what we can do and what we're capable of. And I think, it's one of 17, but it is a road win against, a good team in a hostile environment. And those ones are always harder to get. So we're happy we got it, but now we're on to the next.
A couple of monster games in your last two games. Can you kind of compare the atmosphere afterwards between last year's finale at Green Bay and then the game at Kansas City, what it was like afterwards?
Last year was definitely a little bit different with the finality of it. The atmosphere in game honestly was very similar. They both kind of felt playoff-like in game, but afterwards we were kind of happy to finish on a high note last year, and this year just happy to get our first win of the year. So different afterwards, but during the game I thought it felt very similar.
Jared, you're not a guy that will spend a whole lot of time patting yourself on the back, but there's so much nuance to playing the position that you play, from making the right read or the pre-snap adjustment or whatever it is. What is a play in that game that you're particularly proud of where you're like, God, we really nailed that one, and you're happy with the job that you did on that play?
Good question. There was I don't know what down it was on, but I threw it to Laporta to my left for 16, 17 yards. He was coming underneath, and they made us hot on a blitz. It's, when we don't have enough to protect it, and I was able to drift left away from the rusher. And if you really watch it, Jonah did kind of a crazy hell of a job by a guard to pop back and be able to block that last rusher there, and was able to slide left and get to Sam. It is ho-hum in the mix of the game, but
right.
That's an explosive game for us on something that isn't always that way. So. Was proud of how I executed and how our whole offense really executed that play, and being able to make a kind of ho-hum first or second down play into kind of a big game for us.
How fun was it for you guys to be able to salt away a game at the end on the ground? You did it against Green Bay, and you did it in this one where you just basically didn't give the ball back to a very dangerous quarterback on the other side.
Yeah, that's what good teams do, and we're becoming that. And anytime you can finish with the ball in your hands, that's how you want to do it. And we can run the ball, we can get behind those big fellas up front and finish games. And we want the ball in our hands in those situations and be able to finish it out. And we've been pretty successful at that. But got to keep doing it the right way and try to finish more games like that.
When you come off to the sideline, don't convert on third down, it goes to fourth down. Punt team gets out there. Are you aware that the fake punt has been called? I mean, do you hear that in the headset on your phone, on your helmet, or have you taken the helmet off? You're already worried about the next series. You're not even looking at the punt, or do you know it? And what's it like for you on the side?
Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. That one I did not know. Kind of hear the crowd. You look up, you realize you got the first down. You run back out there. We're going. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. And that one I was unaware.
You get extra spring in your step when you see it, like, all right, okay, here we go. Who knew? All right.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you get a little new life, and it shoots a little adrenaline into you, and certainly proved dividends in that drive for us.
Sure did. It seemed like the offense woke up after that call, as Gator said. All right, so the 4th and 2, people want to ask you about. One of the great things is you bring the perspective of the position that got batted down late. When you look back at that, did you see the field opened up and that you maybe could have run for the first down there?
No, I didn't see it.
No?
No, it's who asked that question?
It was a listener, actually, that wanted
Of course
us to
it
ask.
was.
Yeah.
Of course it was. We had a great play call, and I thought, and if I had eyes everywhere, if I had 4 eyes, I might have been able to see that, but I was trying to find a completion, and I think I would have had one if it didn't get batted down, but in hindsight, if I could have been clairvoyant and know that a lane was going to open up to my left, then I would have done that. But unfortunately, I'm not a future teller, so I got to play the play as it comes to me.
Yeah, Sam Laporta, you mentioned him already, but for a rookie tight end to have 5 targets, 5 completions in a game, what does that say about him?
Yeah, we trust him. I really trust him. He's done a great job all the way since when he got drafted of learning the offense and becoming trustworthy, becoming reliable, and doing the right thing over and over again. I think I've seen him get so much better every single day on the practice field through training camp, obviously in that game. And the biggest thing that I thought was awesome was him and Gibbs, at least from my perspective. I know Branch and Campbell in their own way on defense too, but him and Gibbs did not flinch at all. They were in there ready to go. It wasn't like it was a first game for them, first game jitters or anything like that. They were ready to go and did a great job stepping up for us when we needed them.
I think the best thing to come out of last week, aside from the win, of course, was that there appears that there's still plenty of room to improve. What's the biggest thing that you think the offense has to address this week in practice and getting ready for Seattle?
Yeah, some of the operational stuff I didn't think was our best, and that comes a lot back to me of just getting in and out of the huddle and getting up and not snapping it off of the tight end there, and some of the just procedure stuff was not great. Now that is a credit to the atmosphere we were in, and should have a little bit less of that problem at home. But at the same time, it's just overall who we are and what we want to be. So making sure we're cleaning up the pre-snap stuff, and then post-snap, just making sure we're doing our stuff and staying on our assignments, and being clean in that way too.
You're going to see a pretty desperate team after giving up 334 yards in the opener through the air. But I'm they've had your guys' number the last couple of years. What do you see when you see Seattle's defense? Yeah,
they're good. They're extremely talented. They're very fast. They're very long. I think Diggs is one of the most underrated guys in the league. I think he's a top safety in the league. Obviously, having Bobby back there gives them another little, bolt of energy there in the middle. But yeah, they're good. They're good on defense, and I'm sure they'll be really motivated to get this win. As are we. We're equally motivated and need to come out there with the equal juice that they'll have.
Yeah, how much have you guys talked about that? I mean, two seasons in a row, 99 points. It's unbelievable that a team can score 99 points in 2 games, let alone against the same opponent. But what have you guys been talking about?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that as much as just we've lost the last 2 to them, and owe them one. So yeah, I know they'll be motivated because they're 0-1, and we've got reasons we'll be motivated as well to get this win. And not only that it's our first home game and all that surrounds that, but then to be 2-0. But yeah, we're playing a team that's taken care of us the last couple of years, and we need to go do our thing this Sunday. What
do you expect Ford Field to be like?
Pretty fun, pretty fun, pretty exciting. I think it'll probably be one of our best home atmospheres we've had since I've been here. But yeah, it's going to be really fun. We're excited to see them and hear them when we're on defense and hear them get excited when we score touchdowns. It's a lot of fun to play in front of those fans, and we're very thankful for them, and can't wait to be in front of them.
So we're watching the game last week where Dan Campbell's coming off the field, and we can hear that his voice is like almost totally shot. And it's I got to imagine that for you as players, and you're trying to hear it over the din of the crowd, that you got to be saying to yourself, this guy's going to lose his voice completely. We're not going to be able to hear Dan talk for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, he goes hard on game day. But yeah, we need to be able to hear him, and need to make sure his voice is intact. I think it'll be a little bit easier at home, like I mentioned, but at the same time, we got a long season, so got to make sure his voice is rested for us.
One of my favorite parts of the game is at the end of the game, and every game, not just what happened last week, but when players come to the midfield and they start shaking hands, hugging each other, and talking. What does Patrick Mahomes say to you after the game last week, and which visiting player do you most look forward to talking with after you've won a game?
Man, well, the quarterback thing is just like a good game, good luck, man, stay healthy. It's never really typically anything more than that, and that's all it was with Patrick. And guys I look forward to, man, any former teammates, it's always fun to see guys that I played with in LA or guys I played with here in Detroit that have moved on. And that's always my favorite, is being able to just connect with them quickly and maybe ask how they're doing, how their kids are, or stuff like that. Is always fun.
Final thing, Aaron Rodgers is the news in the NFL, and the 4 plays and the Achilles. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, or have given it much thought, or if you're just in your own world. But what do you make of the Aaron Rodgers injury?
Yeah, it sucks. It's horrible. You never wish anything like that to happen to anybody, and certainly not a guy that plays the same position as me. And a guy that I've watched my whole life and I am a fan of, and it's horrible. It sucks for him. It sucks for their team. But unfortunately, injuries happen, and you got to move on. But yeah, I feel for him and feel for what was supposed to be a fun year for him, and unfortunately cut short.
Lastly, Jared, we got to see the commercial with the Manningcast, and all the players and coaches were part of that. You kick it off, and I said to Doug, I thought you were absolutely comedically brilliant the way that you delivered the line. It's a simple line, but it was awesome. How did this all come about?
That's funny. Yeah, I got a lot of comments on that. It was filmed at the Pro Bowl, so they kind of just grabbed us and brought us into a room and fed us lines. I did not come up with my own line, but they fed us lines, and we all said a lot more than they showed, but they kind of just picked and chose the ones they liked and put them in there. And yeah, I was honored to kick it off and be the first interviewee for the Manningcast.
We thought you and Pat McAfee were the best actors out of everybody on there. You really did a nice job. Yeah.
Yeah, I've really been working on it in the off season, so maybe one day.
Jared Goff, thanks for your time. Good luck. We'll talk next week.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
There he is, Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff. A weekly conversation here on 97.1 The Ticket.